Hello. Now let's review the Citi Simplicity Card billing statement. Similar to other cards, at the very top of your billing statement here, you have on your left the name of the credit card in question, the Citi Simplicity card. And to the left of that, you have the logo of the card issuer. And right underneath that, you have, of course, basic information like your name. You've been a member since 2021. Account number ending in the last four of your credit card. And right below that, you have your billing period or your billing cycle. As previously discussed, if you've watched other videos, this may be repetitive, but for those of you who are new, your billing period here goes from August 17th to September 18th. The end period, this 918 number is really important if you are somebody who cares about your credit utilization rate on your credit report. When your credit utilization rate is too high, it impacts your credit score. Most people think about the payment date as the most important date. However, for people who care about credit utilization rate, this billing period up top is important for you to know and to track. To the left of this basic information, you have billing inquiries and customer service contact. You have the mailing address, the phone number, and the website. Directly below that information, you have your basic payment information. So there's a block here in blue that highlights your September statement. Minimum payment due is $20. The new balance as of 9/18, which is the end of that billing cycle or billing period, is $625. The payment due date is 10/14/23. And there's a quick disclaimer. See the last page of this statement for important information about how to avoid paying interest rate on purchases. If you're following me on all of the other billing statement videos, you see that this is a critical thing for you to keep in mind. All of these warnings are critical for you to keep in mind because they are giving you useful information as a consumer so that you can protect yourself. To the right hand of this basic minimum payment information box, this blue box, you have information on your auto payment. Your first auto payment of $75 will be deducted from your bank account on October 3rd, 2023. Your second auto payment of $75 will be deducted from your account on October 14th, 2023. Your next auto payment may be reduced if you've made additional payments or received credits during the billing cycle that results in a credit balance. For this card, I have two auto payments. So on the first page of my billing cycle, it's telling me that yes, you do have the auto payments. Here is how much we're going to debit, and here's when we are going to debit to make a debit of those payments to your account. It's also letting you know if you've paid too much, no worried, we are only going to charge you up to how much you owe us. We will not charge you more. Right underneath your minimum payment due, right below that, it's giving you the minimum payment warning. Your billing statement is governed by federal law, and there are certain things they have to have in each billing cycle to protect you as a consumer. This is one of those things. So right over here, it has your minimum payment warning. If you make only the minimum payment each period, you will pay more in interest and it will take you longer to pay off your balance. For example, if you make no additional charges using this card and each month you pay first row only the minimum, you will pay off your balance in 5 years. and you will end up paying an estimated $1,075. Right below that, if you pay an extra $25, if you just pay the minimum of $20, you will pay it off in 5 years. But if you pay 25, which is an extra $5, you will pay off your balance in 3 years, and you will only pay $900, which is a savings of $175. And right below this table, for more information about credit counseling services, call this number. So it's reminding you the minimum payment is not the way to go. You should definitely be paying more into your credit cards. To the right of that statement, you have your account summary. In your account summary, it gives you an overview of all of your transactions. My previous balance here was $1,603. Payments I've made were $978. I had zero in credits, zero in purchases, $0 in cash advances, $0 in fees, $0 in interest. My new balance, when you deduct the 978 payments from my 1603 previous balance, you get a new balance of $625. Right underneath the account summary here, you have your credit card limit information. Here it's stating for this card, my credit limit is $28.80, and this includes $0 in cash advance limit. So I do not have cash advance for this card. My available credit is $2,255 because I have a balance of $625. Towards the end of this page, of course, it's giving me the opportunity to get some gift cards and local offers here, which we will gladly ignore because that's just to entice us to spend more money, and we do not need to do that. And as with almost all billing statements, on the first page towards the end, you have the payment stub. So if you were one of those people who sends in a check to pay your credit cards, this is what you would use. You will cut off that, and it tends to be perforated for you to make it easier. You will write your check, you will put this in an envelope, your address is here, and right next to that you have the address of where it's going. It makes it so easy for you. All you have to do is put in your stamp and you send that over. For payments, send checks to Citi Cards, P.O. Box 78054, Phoenix, Arizona 85062. And that is what you have here. In the middle of this pay stub, though, it is incentivizing you to make your payment online or through a mobile app. Pay your bill from virtually anywhere with the Citi mobile app or Citi online. To download, text app 15 to My Citi and go to your device app store or visit citicards.com. So much easier if you pay it online or on an app, but I do understand some people do not want to be connected through the internet. And on this pay stub, it's reminding you of what your minimum payment due is, what your new balance is, what your payment due date is. And this is important because the minimum payment only helps you stay current on your payments, but it's not going to prevent you from having to pay more interest, or it's not going to help your credit utilization rate. So whatever you decide to pay, you can write that here, make your check payable to Citi Cards, stuff it in your envelope, mail it. Now, Citi Card is not giving a disclaimer as to, hey, you need to send it by this time or this date. However, it's always prudent if you're mailing a check to mail it about 2 weeks in advance, certify that mail, and get a tracking number so that you can track when it arrives to Citibank. On the next page, we have more information. At the very top, you will always have your name, account ending in at the top. You have the customer service number in case you need it. The first set of information we see on this page is the account summary. As with most of these account summaries, it always starts with your transactions. The format is transaction date, post date, description, and amount. So first here you have a list of payments and credits. So I've made 3 sets of payments for $75. Remember earlier it talked about my auto payments that I've been making of $75. But then I also paid an extra $828 this month because I really wanted to reduce the balance on this card. Right underneath my payments are the fees that I've been charged. Total fees charged in this billing period is 0 because I did not have any. Right below that is the interest charged. Total interest charged in this billing period is also 0. This card was one of the cards that I opened to do balance transfers. When I found myself 2 years ago with too many credit card utilization was really high, I used balance transfers to avoid paying interest on my cards and to also offset my credit utilization rate. And this was one of the cards that I opened specifically for that purpose. So I am not charged any interest at the moment. So with those limited amount of transactions, right underneath interest charged, it gives you the interest rate you've been charged year to date. If this particular card was one that was charging me interest or I had fees throughout the year, it will all show up here. I like this particular table in the billing statement because it shows me just how much my instant gratification is costing me. Total fees in 2023 is 0. Total interest in 2023 is also 0. Right underneath the year to date, you have your interest charge calculation. This is really important. This table right here is very important. Days in the billing cycle is 33. The annual percentage rate APR is the annual interest rate on your account. The balance type, if you have purchases, standard purchases versus balance transfer offers. So the standard purchase rate here for me is $29.99. Balance subject, and it's a V here. And we'll read more about what the V means here in a minute. Balance subject to interest rate is 0. And there's a D next to it. We'll also read what the D means. Interest rate charge is 0. Purchases. Balance transfer offer 4. Balance transfer rate expires 10/20/23. This is really important. Please watch my Synchrony Bank video that I'm going to link right here for you. This is going to be important because this time, after that Synchrony Bank mistake, I no longer take anything for granted. When you have a balance transfer, it's telling me here that the balance that will be subjected to interest rate is $1,204. How so? Because my balance here is only $625. If I have not been on top of my finances, I was acting a fool like I did a year ago, not really tracking my expenses, reading my billing statements, I would miss this. Even if I only had $50 on this account, they would still charge me interest rate for $1,204. Very important. Balance types. If I had cash advances, standard advance, I would be charged $29.99. That's almost 30% in interest rate. Whew, that hurts. But that's the game we choose to play, right? And right below that table, there are more disclosures for you. Your annual percentage rate is the annual interest rate on your account. APRs followed by a B may vary. Balances followed by a D are determined by the daily balance method, including current transactions. And this is important. We'll read more about what the daily balance method means. Account messages. The Saving Spotlight feature is currently unavailable. For any related questions, please call customer service at the number on the back of your card. And then right underneath that, it says 2023 Citibank NA, Citi, Citibank, and ARC Design and other marks used herein are service marks of Citigroup Inc. or its affiliate. used and registered throughout the world. Important. If you have any questions about marketing communication, please call citi.com/offers/you or call the number in the back of your card. Next, here you have all of your disclaimers. For this part of the video, we are going to skip through the disclaimers. In part 2, we would focus only on reading these disclaimers. I do understand. Nobody wants to read this. We never think that it's important. But when I started reading my disclaimers, I noticed just how big of a difference it made in my understanding of my credit cards, in my awakening of how these credit cards can really mess me up. It also prevented me from getting into a lot more trouble than I already was. This is an overview of Citibank's billing statement. It was pretty straightforward. Stay tuned for part 2, where we would read the Citibank Simplicity credit card fine print in detail.